Hey guys, welcome back to the 2021 Genesis GV80. Tonight I wanted to give you guys a night drive and show you what this thing is like in the dark. From the headlights to the turn signals, go over some final thoughts on what this car's been like to live with, and of course maybe go over some features that I glazed over in my last video, the POV first impressions. As you can see at night, you've got a Genesis logo that's projected from the mirrors, which is pretty cool. You can also remote start the car. This GV80 has some pretty impressive turn signals on the side. Pretty cool, the visibility that shows. And of course, I don't know what Genesis calls it, but to me it'll always be SMAT pack. You can roll this forward or backward to get in and out of parking spaces. Kind of a cool feature. I just think it's like taking your car for a walk. You control everything on the key fob. Works pretty seamlessly. Does a nice job. I'm not entirely sure if it'll hit me or not. I guess we can find out. It'll stop. All right, that's good. The interior lighting is absolutely gorgeous in this car. Really lights up and illuminates the entire interior. These are some of the brightest lights I've seen in any car recently. And you can also get a little bit of a taste of the ambient lighting here. You can change that, make it a bunch of different colors. We'll show you guys that here in a second. So once you've remote started it, all you have to do is hop in, press the on button, and you are ready to go. Pretty cool cabin at night. You've got this very minimalist display in the middle. Of course, all of your menus. Let's go in and change the ambient lighting. See what that looks like. Go into lights, ambient light, brightness. Oh yeah, we'll crank that brightness all the way up. Well, might as well. You have pearl white, which is very similar to aquamarine white, topaz yellow, sard brown. Some pretty cool options here. This is very Mercedes-esque. The violets and the purples. Ooh, zircon blue is nice. Then you kind of get into the weeds here. You can also pick a custom color. I'm just going to keep it boring and traditional and stick with aquamarine white. So many settings in this infotainment. You can really go in and customize this car to your tastes and preferences. It's the mark of any good luxury vehicle, and that's what you have here in this GV80. I have really enjoyed driving this GV80 this week. I'm quite impressed with what Genesis has been able to do with this SUV. I mean, it feels just like a natural progression of all their sedans, but here we are in SUV form. It's very relaxing to drive. It's very comfortable. This powertrain is fantastic. The tech here is quite nice. It would be nice to see a hybrid or electric powertrain come out of this sometime soon, but I'm sure that's just around the corner. One of these days we can eventually expect it. This Lexicon premium sound system sounds awesome. Really nice audio quality. I mean, this hits all the marks. I would like to test a Prestige top of the line trim. This is only the Advanced Plus. If I had any complaints, it'd really pretty much just be that the steering wheel is a bit strange to look at. There's maybe a little bit more NVH and crashiness over bumps than you would get in, let's say, the Genesis G80, the sedan counterpart of this. We also have an X5 this week to test, so I'm very curious to drive these back to back and see how they really compare. The X5 is spec'd up to about $85,000. There's a pretty big difference, about 20,000 bucks between the two. And I'm not sure the X5 is $20,000 nicer than this GV80. When you add everything up in this car, the standard features, the trim packages, all the luxury items, the tech, the cool factor of this being kind of a new, fresh model. Also, there isn't quite as much of a stigma attached to Genesis as there is with Hyundai, for example. I know part of buying a luxury vehicle is the brand name, but people, I think, are more curious about what this is as opposed to maybe if it has as much clout or what the parent company is. I think in 2020, 2021, a Genesis is a very respectable luxury vehicle to be seen in. You could call it the smart luxury buy. Pedal shifters are quite responsive. Like I said in my last video, this is not a bad car to hustle around. It's kind of fun to drive. There's definitely a focus on luxury here, but I think you could get away with a little bit of sporty driving and a little bit of off-roading in this GV80 as well. It's very quiet, very subdued in here. There's not a lot of engine noise, road noise, wind noise. There's a little bit of impact noise from the tires over potholes and expansion joints, but that's pretty typical with larger wheels. These are the 20s. You can get all the way up to 22-inch wheels on this GV80. These headlights are fantastic, and also another cool thing is just how much these turn signals light up the lane next to you. It really makes it obvious what you're going to be doing when you're on the road. You can see even at night here, you have a pretty good view from the side cameras, from your turn signal cameras. For how weird and strange the steering wheel looks, it actually does feel pretty good in hand. The highway driving assist in this GV80 really is something else. It's pretty phenomenal. It's been just about flawless all week, and as long as you have clear lines, there's no inclement weather, nothing covering or blocking the sensors, it's all just, it works so well, especially when you're just cruising on a straight highway. It takes so much fatigue and energy out of driving. It's a little bit dangerous because it makes you trust the vehicle a bit too much, but it's definitely one of the best systems out there. You do have to keep your wits about you, and you have to keep your eyes up for debris in the road or, you know, hazards that you may need to take over for, potholes, etc. But it's a very, very well-tuned system. It keeps you extremely well-centered. The cruise control, adaptive cruise control, reacts very nicely for a variety of driving conditions. No weird flukes or bugs here and there. I'm very impressed with the highway driving assist systems in this GV80. And it's not really that much of a surprise. I mean, it's very similar to the rest of the Genesis lineup, but this latest iteration is quite fantastic. It's definitely class leading, in my opinion. We've got a situation here with the driving assist where it's pulling me into the turn lane. That's a pretty difficult situation for a lot of systems, and this Genesis reacts about the same as most do. It can't quite stay to that right lane. It knows that it's not supposed to go over there, but it does kind of merge over and then make its way back. But still, it's throwing the system off a little bit. It's confusing. those are the situations where you need to keep control of the car. We've got another one right here. Yep, it's just getting sucked into the left quite a bit. A little bit confused, prompted me to put my hands back on the steering wheel. It handles it better than a lot of companies out there, but still, needs some work. As long as there are lines on both sides, it's very stable and very predictable. Even though Genesis has added quite a bit of touchscreen functionality and they've switched up some of the controls for the infotainment, I do like the usability and the ergonomics in this cabin. The climate control is super easy to use, and having adjustable fan speeds for your auto climate control is quite nice. This SUV is also a nice size. It's easy to park. It's not too big on the road. I think this is kind of a sweet spot for mid-sized luxury SUVs. Feels about the same as my Lexus GX 460, which I've always enjoyed. Alright guys, well that'll be it for this one. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully we'll be able to do a comparison later this weekend with the BMW X5. And I guess until then, stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching guys, we'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Yeah, and this signature lighting is very unique, very recognizable, quite cool, I think. It's all in the details in the luxury market. Even the key fob has a really nice feel to it. Stuff like that's important. It's more than just a big grille these days.